FM, and he is Al Lockard joining us here this morning as we talk about the Indiana County Marathon. Is that the official title of it, Al?
Actually, it's the InFirst Bank Veterans Marathon.
Oh, there you go. That's a much better title.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know that obviously Indiana First Bank has changed their name to InFirst Bank. So the title of the race has changed in a very minor way. But we now are InFirst Bank Veterans Marathon.
Wonderful. And it is happening when?
It will be happening on November the 4th.
The week before Veterans Day.
Exactly. And we have start times at 9 o'clock for the marathon and also 9:30 for the half marathon.
Okay. All right. So that's happening. And is it still Ghost Town Trail?
It will be on the Ghost Town Trail. Our friends over at Burrell Township have hosted this race. This is now going to be our 7th year.
Wow.
And some exciting news. I don't know how many people know about this, probably very few at this point, but the exciting part of this is that this year, the InFirst Bank Veterans Marathon has its own 501c3.
Oh, good.
So we are now being able to put those funds in place to, as it always has, assist veterans throughout Indiana County and Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and so now you're an official nonprofit.
We are an official nonprofit. That's right.
Pennsylvania looks at you and said, "Yep, they've got our signature on it."
That's correct.
That's terrific.
It's a great thing because of what we can offer back to those veterans that have given so much to us for our freedoms.
Yeah. Okay. So it's in November. You're here in July.
I am. We obviously we're out doing different things for the race to promote the race. We've got some different things in place this year to try and bring in more runners, not only from Indiana but throughout the nation. Last year we had a total of about 26 states represented at that at our marathon.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, we'd like to hit 50 and maybe throw a couple countries into there.
Okay.
Yeah. We've actually had some phone calls from individuals outside of the state of Pennsylvania, obviously because this race is also a Boston qualifier. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we get a lot of calls from individuals that throughout the course of the year they haven't yet qualified, so they come to us and try to do that.
Yeah, and Boston Marathon qualifying is based upon your time in the marathon.
It's based on your time and your age.
Yeah.
They have this convoluted math system that they do that says, like for an example, I'm 52 years of age. I would have to run a 3 hour and 30 minute minus roughly 3 to 4 minutes in order to qualify to get into Boston next year.
Yeah. So you get the abacus out and you figure out your odds and
Yes.
off you go.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course the fact that the race proceeds are dedicated to veterans just has to be so heartening for them. And I know you get a lot of veterans who come out and participate as helpers and volunteers.
We do. We have a tremendous group we reach out to different veterans organizations. If you're listening today, give us a call. We have the individuals that are local to the community. But like I said, we are a Western Pennsylvania nonprofit, so we're looking for veteran support outside of the county. Along with that, we do have a tremendous support and showing of individuals from Team RWB, which is red, white, and blue. Those are the individuals you generally see out there carrying a flag, running 26 miles, carrying a flag. And here's something special. What we've done is this year we are giving a special race T-shirt to every veteran that is signed up. So if you sign up as a veteran, it doesn't matter if you're doing the relay, the half marathon, or the full marathon. We have designed, with the assistance of Johnny Boy over at Fast Times, we have designed a new shirt for veterans specifically this year.
Let's give the registration information now, and then before we're done here this morning, we'll give it again.
Okay. So what we're looking to do is you need to go to, we have assistance with the Indiana Road Runners Club. So you can go directly to the Indiana Road Runners. It's indianaroadrunners.com/Veterans Marathon, and you can sign up that way. It's a direct link, takes you right to the application process.
Yeah. And you can choose half marathon or marathon at that time.
Exactly.
All right. So the training has to be going on right now.
Training has to be going on.
This is not something that you're jumping into at the last second.
No, if it's painful if you do it that way. Not saying it can't be done, but the 2 days after the race, if you haven't prepared for it, that's when the pain kicks in.
But at the same time, there are people who are regularly running 5Ks and 10Ks, and for them, it's a matter of increasing incrementally to the point that you want to run, and for them, this must be a very exciting opportunity. Should be.
It should be. Just like you and I had spoke a few minutes ago about you doing your first 5K in some time. So here we come. You've done some training for that, and hopefully. And so a 5K, for those that don't know, is 3.1 miles. And then 10K, step it up to a 10K, and you're looking at 6.2 miles. And then, of course, if you'd like to run a half marathon, that's not a big significant difference in training is for getting yourself from a half or a 10K to a half marathon.
Yeah, and there are plenty of resources out there to help you get that. There are plenty of people who help you in that respect as well. I know there's at least one organization around here that actually has, or has in the past, had classes on nutrition for running distance races.
Exactly. My wife and I, we are coaches for the Indiana cross country team at the junior high, and there's Marion Center runs a wonderful program where they actually develop young athletes, talk to them about nutrition because nutrition is so important. The guys at Gingerbread Man and Indiana Roadrunners Club, I can't emphasize enough to you, if you're a runner and you're thinking about doing this, you have a passion to run, give the guys at Indiana Roadrunner, John Swager, give those guys a call and sign up. It's amazing the benefit you get from them.
They do regular runs, I know, through Indiana.
They do.
And anybody is invited to join them at any time.
Yep. Don't even have to be a member.
Because they do, you sort of get, I don't want to say it rubs off on you, but it rubs off on you, doesn't it?
It truly does. I mean, you start running with a group of people and they say, hey, we're running from the high school to such and such a location. Next thing you know, you've bought into it. Yeah. And you start showing up on a regular basis.
Yeah. So this event, say it again, the InFirst
Veterans Marathon
is happening on November 4th on the Ghostown Trail.
That's correct. And the real important thing, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, and we need to thank our title sponsor, and that is InFirst Bank. We got Tim over there and Jess and Connie and their entire staff. When we talk about people showing up to support, it's amazing how many of the folks from the bank show up. Yeah. And this will be our 7th running of this particular race, but it's important to add that over the course of the last 6 years, with the fundraising and the help of the community and the support of InFirst Bank, we have raised almost $100,000.
Well, what a key thing that is.
It is.
My goodness. That does so much, and in this case does so much for veterans. There are charity runs happening every weekend around the area, and you can always find one in which to run. Indiana County really has a really vibrant running community, doesn't it?
It truly does. We just traveled out west, and it's neat to see the different towns and the different running trails and so forth. But the Ghost Town Trail and the Hoodlebug and those types of things that you can get out and use is a tremendous resource, and it does keep our community healthy.
It really does. Yeah. And you're right. Those are just beautiful trails to run. They're peaceful.
Yep.
They're shaded.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Which is extremely important at this time of the year.
It is.
And it's just a wonderful thing to do. Do it correctly. Don't rush into it, especially if you're going to start training for this. And you can make a really good time of it.
Yeah, and yet we're here in July. You've got plenty of time. You don't have to register today. You can come to the race on race day and actually do a race day application. We'll take everyone.
There's no limit.
No. Well, we do have a limit as to how many people the trail will hold, and we haven't met that yet. So I'm not really concerned that we're going to be at that point. So if you're thinking about running, come out. We'll make room for you.
This is the time to do it.
It is.
This is the time to do it. Wonderful. Terrific stuff. Man, get me all excited about it. Not that I'm going to run it because my body wouldn't let me do it, but
you
the
know,
desire is there.
You never know. And in fact, I got to say this. You know, my wife is actually this weekend will be participating in a 100-mile race.
Yeah.
And so we're going out to Cleveland, and she's going to be doing what's called the Burning River 100-miler. This is something that she and I have taken on, and a friend of ours, Donnie Bowers. We've done a few of them over the course of time. Unfortunately, she has not finished one. So I say,
this is the weekend.
This is it. This is the weekend. Right. It's going to happen this weekend.
That's fantastic. They should call it the Burning Thighs 100.
Yeah. It's a tough race. You wouldn't think in Cleveland there would be so many hills, but there truly are a lot of hills in this race.
Wow. Okay. Final seconds. Once more, the information on registering.
Right. Love to have you go to, and again, this is the InFirst Veterans Marathon, and we would love to have you go to the Indiana Roadrunners site. /Veterans Marathon and sign up today.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's Indiana in the Morning.